Y'all already know what time it is, man. We back. We live. It is CFB Late Show. I am the governor of college football. With me, CFB Moon. Moon, you already know we about to talk about. I know you and I have both kind of been quiet about how we felt about each coaching move, even though me, Jalen, Road Dog, and Brian did talk about a few moves in great detail yesterday, and it was just pure comedy. It was one of those you had to be here moments when we were talking about Lane Kiffin. And I tell you, some of the best content I've done in a while happened yesterday when we were just all talking about Lane Kiffin. So we're gonna get right to it. We're gonna hand out some grades for these coaches carousel. Lane Kiffin we'll save for last. But Pete Golden becoming Ole Miss head coach. Of course, with Lane Kiffin leaving for LSU, of course, we got the news that Charlie Wise Jr. will also be calling plays for the duration of the playoffs for Ole Miss. How do you like this move overall? He seemed to get a warm reception by his team, and it didn't seem staged. It seemed genuine, like they're genuinely happy that he's the head coach. It's not somebody else, and hopefully he keeps that system in place, even moving forward after Charlie Weiss is at LSU, of course. So talk to me about that.
Based on the feedback we got from just the players, that reception, it gave me genuineness, but it also made me feel like Lane Kiffin was capping based on what he said and what the players were coming out afterwards and saying. So I don't know if it was like a mixture of yes, they seemed enthusiastic, but also could it just been the salt of the situation as well and the magnitude of it? Like, some the players really did need something to rally about. As far as the grade, I feel like Ole Miss's hand was forced in this situation, and it made them kind of on the back end of the coaching carousel movement and having to wait on what Kiffin is doing versus waiting, going out and exploring other options that's out there on the coaching carousel that we have. So now when my hands are kind of tied and I'm bonded by Kiffin, then it kind of impacts my search. And I feel like they offered Golden based on what was already in the room. They don't have to go search far. The searching candidacy went quick, but it went quicker than what Penn State did throughout this whole process. They fired James Franklin first, and then still didn't make no moves. And yet, Ole Miss can make moves in a short period of time. And even though I'm gonna give it like a C plus, I feel like if he can hire good personnel around him, deeper than just who the offensive coordinator is, but the skill positions too, and now he has the power. I want to see what he does in this role.
He's been successful really via the transfer portal and via high school, but the last 2 years specifically, he's been really successful via the transfer portal. I'm hoping that Ole Miss can continue what they have. They will lose a lot of pieces via the transfer portal because some players are just going to naturally go to LSU. But hopefully, however far they go in the playoff this year will be a great opportunity for them. We just had early signing day. Some people are calling it National Signing Day. It's early signing day. It was about 3 weeks early this year. That's what me and Jalen was talking about a great deal yesterday. I'm just interested to see how well does he recruit.
That's the piece. I don't know if you're going to be able to keep up in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and Lane Kiffin is an outstanding recruiter, but I think at least if, defensively, I think that he should recruit well. And if they have to have the right guy at offensive coordinator, they need to get a big enough fish so they can be success. Because I don't think he's quite the defensive guy that a Brent Venables is, and him going and go get a guy like Ben Arbuckle was able to, and is a huge proponent why Oklahoma was one of the laughing stocks of SEC last year. Now they're in the college football playoff, and they're going to be in the college football playoff. I think that's huge. So we just going to continue to go down the list. We're kind of going to say what happened today for last, second to last, of course, because we want to talk about Lane Kiffin as well. And Jalen, just shout out to my dog, just Jalen. He just chimed in on what we were speaking on yesterday. But Florida, they got John Summerall. We know him. We know his lineage. We know what he's done at Troy. We know what he did at Tulane. How do you feel about this hire? Is it a home run hire for you? And also going back to Pete Golding, why it isn't a Lane Kiffin hire, it isn't as bad as some of these hires we're going to talk about today. So for me, as to see the team respect from it where people were genuinely happy for that man, for me it's a C plus, probably a B minus for Pete Golden. But let's talk about John Summerall. This guy a lot of people wanted, highly coveted. He's going to Gainesville where the resources are plentiful. You don't have excuses. Is this too much though of like a Billy Napier hire, a guy that we saw at Louisiana? We saw the success that he had there. And will it translate at the SEC level? Because Billy Napier's issue wasn't the ability to recruit his ass off, but it was the being a disciplinarian. Tidying those things up, as the old ball coach Steve Spurrier would say. So, how do you feel about this coaching hire right here?
I think Coach Summerall is more of a disciplinarian than Billy Napier is. Correct. So I think he would check that box. Recruiting, I'll probably get out to Billy Napier. If you had to talk about X's and O's, ball coach, I would give that to Summerall. If you talk about just other key metrics in winning, when it came to having, like both of them came from Louisiana type pipelines, right? Both of them get that check. But when you look at what they did in those pipelines, Billy Napier wasn't really that successful at Troy, and then in his Sun Belt stint. And then when you talk about Summerall, he was successful in the Sun Belt and then in the American as well. So short period of time, turnaround time quickly. I think that's the reason why the Tulane Brass was able to send him out, I guess, with flying colors and rose petals like it's coming to America, and just started sprinkling him at his feet and said, hey, go do whatever you need to, even if it is court another team, they're an SEC blue blood, but hey, do whatever you have to, as long as you are here on Friday night when it's time for us to play for a conference championship. I think he's given them enough trust already within their locker room, within their brass, their community, to say that he can be able to handle both at the same time, just based on his makeup and his identity. But here's the thing. You can't say that you all in when the press conference happens for Florida Gators and then turn around less than 24 hours later and be on a jet to Louisiana eating beignets trying to get your jet lag off of you. It's crazy, bro. That's the little things that I look at. As far as how he'll adjust to Florida, man, times ain't never been like this for him. Like, as far as a financial benefit that he has, but also as far as fan pleasantries and fan aggression. It can turn just like high tide, low tide. It goes up and down. And I really don't know the future for that part.
For sure.
Based on his identity and who he is as a coach, he'll call his team out straight like 100%. We are not a top 25 team. 100%.
Wow. Straight like that.
Team. I don't know why what they're looking at us. He also called out his team multiple times.
We'll hold it down for about 3 minutes. I got something to take care of.
Yeah. Okay. So when I look at this hire really makes me, it made me great. If I'm a Tulane Green Wave fan, thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. You're just another one of the legacy coaches that came in, made their impact, and we go on to the next one. The American is doing amazing things right now. When you talk about the amount of head coaches that got hired from the American and then shifted their talents to either bigger pastures, maybe we can question whether or not they're green or not. However, Alex Golesh is now the head coach at Auburn. Beautiful situation. Beautiful situation. You got Golesh coming in, and then you talk about Summerall coming in, the Lane Kiffin thing happening all on the same day. Somebody has to do a documentary and do like a E60 30 for 30 on the day that probably the craziest day in SEC history, or maybe in college football history, with the coaching carousel. John Summerall at Florida, I think, will be more defined, less about recruiting and NIL backing than what we see on the actual football field. They are craving for a winner, and they wanted to attach and align themselves with the ball coach that knows how to win. When you look at his resume, it clearly speaks for himself. I just have my own questions when it comes to, like, you can't say you all in, but then I'm taking a trip back to the conference championship. There's a lot of teams that's doing that. JMU. JMU is doing the same thing with Bob Chesney after getting hired at UCLA. That's what I'm looking at. While KT is gone, this is the CFB Late Show. I'm your boy Moon, holding it down for you on the 5th of December, 2025, year of our Lord. We got conference championship games coming on tonight. I think 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Kennesaw State versus Jack State. We also have Troy versus James Madison. We have the American Championship with North Texas and Tulane, and the Mountain West Championship as well. If you want to ask me what I'm looking forward to in these games, we can go kind of down the list, my dog. Conference USA, probably my favorite conference to watch. But the thing that you should know in this game, Amari Odom and his deep passing capabilities have been on full display for the Kennesaw State Owls throughout this season. He has interchanged in the quarterback room with Dexter Williams, and he's really taken the reins of that starting job. He's gained the trust of Coach Mack, the offensive coordinator, the staff, and he's been taking the bull by the horns. He is an elite deep ball passer, and it's really unthinkable to know that we still got a couple more seasons with this talent at Kennesaw State. We just got to keep recruiting. 61% of his deep balls are completed. That's number 2 in the nation, only behind Julian Sagan. He is elite when stretching the field vertically, outside the numbers. They have the talent in Vineyard to do it. The thing is, Jacksonville State's offense is what I'm looking forward to in this matchup. Cam Cook, since transferring from TCU, is now in the perfect position to eat. And when I say eat, he is leading the FBS in carries, explosive runs, broken tackles, and also rushing yards. All of that is helped propel this Jacksonville State offense to be unthinkable this year. We thought it might have been a drop-off after Tyler Huff last year, right? Think about the golden days of the ultimate Gamecock warrior if you're a Jack State fan. But now we have Caden Creel, who by himself is elevated the rushing stats. With Caden Creel having 988 rushing yards right now, you got Jacksonville State with the dynamic duo 1-2 punch of Cam Cook, Caden Creel. Can Kennesaw State stop that? I got on the drip because I'm reckoning.
I see you almost was about to make me go get my my credential for Kennesaw State, but you had a great point. Sorry, I had to run out real quick. With this whole situation with John Summerall, somebody we both really respect, have a high regard for. Now, hey, I know the sweet thing to do is, hey, go coach with your team. You led your troops there. Oh, this is Florida football, bro. And we've been struggling, dog. I don't give a damn about your G5 game. You're going to get waxed your first game in a playoff, dog. The hell with that game, man. Like, come on, bro. Is this Florida's problem?
You are in your bag right now, good sir.
Like, what are we doing, dog?
Hey, this is the land that we in the college football world. This is just where we at right now. This is the happenings.
I don't care. You're here. You're
as the world turns.
You're right. You're right. And we've been calling it the stories for so long. The stories like our mothers watched when we were a little bit younger. But why are teams so understanding of that when I feel like they shouldn't be understanding of that? Because now the great recruiting job that Billy Napier has done, and some of these people who are iffy about, hey, is this where I need to be? Like, cool. What you're doing is, listen, and I'm saying this as an athletic director. I'm not saying this as a fan of college football. As a fan of college football, I think it's outstanding for the sport that, a guy can be hired at a prestigious university like UF and still have an opportunity because the committee just told you that, hey, winner of this game will get that G5 bid, right?
Yeah,
I don't think we're quite ready for. If Duke wins this weekend, I don't think we're quite ready for some of that fiasco. But I don't know. As a college football fan, yes, I love it. We love G5 ball. We've been telling you guys that the winner of the American is going to get that G5 bid for weeks now. I'm not sure if people were hearing us, but we've been saying that for weeks. But as the athletic director of a prestigious university, who fan base is hungry, bro. It's a hungry fan base. It feels like years since they've been to Florida that we remember. You know what I'm saying? When we were growing up, when the old ball coach was there, or Urban Meyer was there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, my dog Dante ECG, he's doing a lot of fantastic content. Make sure y'all check out East Coast Gridiron. He's been doing a lot of film breakdowns for sure, man. Shout out to the guy. So yeah, as like I said, the athletic director, there's no way I'm allowing this coast to coast. I don't care, bro. Who cares? We've been losing.
So you stand where Ole Miss side is and saying there's no way you coaching.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's no way I'm allowing that. You're like, this is Florida, bro. This is cool. Green Wave, cool. You guys had Willie Fritz a few years ago. It's cool. It's cute what y'all doing down there. But we're trying to be in the playoff next year, bro. What are you gonna do for us to have that ability to be in a playoff? So for me, I'm not as friendly as some of these other ADs. If we want instant gratification, instant success, this dude Chris is crazy, bro. I tell y'all about my cousin Chris all the time. This guy's walking around with a box on his head, man. Like, I almost want to pan the camera on him, man. This guy's just walking around with a box on his head, man. But yeah, so I don't know. How do you feel about the move, though? I didn't hear it. What was your grade? I don't think I heard the grade.
On Summerall?
Uh-huh. Thank you. Somebody said it. Somebody said it.
A B?
Thank you. It was not the move that wowed me. Thank you. I think Summerall's going to be Billy Napier 2.0.
Sorry, I got to look at the screen. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. No, because you're on your phone. Granted, we already said we've already given the reasons why we believe he can have more success, because the old ball coach pretty much told us that he needs to tidy up some things. So it was that attention to detail, and it was that ability to be disciplined in your approach, not be a player's coach, but be a disciplinarian. While we feel like he will have the upper hand, can he recruit as well and be disciplined?
Actually, I have to adjust my grade. Give me a second. Mm-hmm. He is showcasing that he has some CEO, program builder type of capabilities to himself, my friend, because he went out and trying to steal my God from Buster Faulkner. What are you doing trying to get my dude? Mm-hmm. What is I told you earlier on the phone? What is peanut butter without jelly?
Yeah, you're right.
What is ribs without barbecue sauce?
You said it earlier. You did.
Man, what is Berkeley without Buster Faulkner?
Wow. So
he hasn't shown it yet. That's my thing. He hasn't shown it yet. He hasn't had the chance to show it yet. But somebody like John Summerall came around and said, you know what? What are some of the most creative offenses on all of the land? The boys at Georgia Tech. What are we gonna do? We're gonna pull out our colored pencil, just get a blank check, hand them the colored pencil, and be like, scribble whatever number you need on this to be good and be a Gator. That was just the reports right now.
So yeah,
I give it a B plus. If he can get Faulkner, that's a B plus, bro. Solid.
He wins everywhere, but I think that in Gainesville, this fan is bubbling for success. You know how bad they want success to happen in Gainesville, and it's now like, all right, we've seen this story before. They're not going to be as patient as they were with Billy Napier. They say, hey, okay, this guy wins everywhere he's at. Do it here. We want to see it happen ASAP. So if it's, I
can see a situation where they are more patient with where he is than Billy Napier.
I would love
it wasn't recruiting; it was the extra stuff.
I would love to hear this,
because I think he's getting buy-in already. I don't think it's more than my other guy right now that people don't want to talk about. Everybody love to roast him though. But Summerall, I think Summerall is in a good position, man. He's in good position. And I feel like for him, outside of Florida rushing it, Florida had to rush it because they were waiting on Lane Kiffin. That didn't work. They said, man, bump Lane Kiffin. Get the dude out the way. We're going to go look for somebody else. Who's the next best available in our
Florida
minds?
AD was the problem in that situation.
Yeah, and they said the AD. So when he went there and saw that the AD was like what he was is, what he I said what he was, what he was, nah, not happening. So they got to pivot. Did they rush in the pivot? Yeah. But when you look at how it landed out, the pieces in place, I don't think he's going to be a better recruiter than Billy Napier.
No. Hell no.
I do think that when you talk about winning games, that's the makeup and identity of college football. I think he'll be better than Billy Napier, which is why they'll be more patient with him.
Is it a hand and glove fit?
It's like trying to snuggle that thing in a little bit.
I think this is one of those situations where I like the coach, I don't like the place. Love the coach. And in Gainesville, like I want success for them so badly, but I think they needed somebody a little bit more seasoned at this level. One of the things that my dog ECG pointed out was somebody like a Jed Fish. I just think they needed somebody just a little bit more seasoned at this level. Of course, Summerall has won a lot at the G5 level, but it's I don't know. I don't think this is a hand and glove fit. I like the play. I like the person. I don't like the fit. I would probably give this one a lower grade than most, so I'll say like a C-.
I understand that, bro. I feel like that for all those cream de crop jobs. You're most loved and most hated in the same 24-hour stretch.
Yeah,
you get your house TP, and then you get in more contract extensions if you wake up. It's an ultimate thrill. Not everybody is ready for that thrill ride or that thrill seek in the SEC. But I think Summerall is cut from that cloth to where he'll allow his transparency, not only as a coach, but through his process to, win over the hearts of Florida Nation out there.
And to do that, you win. It's simple. Yeah. You just got to win. This is a hire that I do love. And Alex Golish to Auburn.
Slam dunk.
What
Sean Kemp slam?
Yeah, I like that. To me, this one is an A++. You get a guy that's an offensive wizard, like your last two predecessors were supposed to be, and Brian Harsin and Hugh Freeze, but he has done it at a very high level in the SEC with Tennessee. And we remember when Tennessee was the darling of the sport in 2022. When they had Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt storming Knoxville. And to me, this is a real slam dunk hire for Auburn because you get you a really offensive oriented guy. And guess what he did? That was so great. Hey, DJ Durkin, I respect the hell out of you. I know the work that you do. I don't want you to go nowhere. Stay here. I'm going to make sure we score points. Right. And this is something you and I have been saying for a while. That, hey, if you are, a defensive wizard, go get a guy on offense. If you're an offensive wizard, go get a guy on defense. And he's not going to break up the continuity that I believe that was broken up because Cadillac Williams, as the interim head coach, had some success there. But I feel like there was a divide with the locker room, so to speak. But, with Hugh Freeze being offensive, Cadillac Williams, offensive guy as well, I think it created a divide. But I love this Alex Golish hire at Auburn. In fact, I'll put Lane Kiffin to the side for now. I believe this has been my favorite hire of the offseason just because it makes sense and what fan base deserves more. Now, the job is on Auburn now. You know what I'm saying? Is it easy to recruit there? Absolutely. But open up the motherfucking checkbook. Yeah. And do it. You see schools like Michigan State say, hey, we go back up a Brinks truck. What do we need to do to win?
Everybody don't got Michigan State money. That's a whole other level of money.
They don't. But also, we know the great, Irvin Magic Johnson played there too. So it's easy with French guys that used to play at your programs. But you even seen a couple of years ago, CJ Stroud. It's no coincidence how him and other players were willing to put up some money, and they was able to get a national championship out of it, and they're going to compete for one this year as well. So for me, hey, all right, we got our guy. I think he's a better fit. It makes more sense. What they will do on offense will look familiar to the fan base. You got a guy defensively that's going to be able to handle it. I think them two together should be able to recruit really well. And who will be the guy at quarterback? Is it possible that we see Byron Brown come and play in Auburn this fall?
He has more eligibility, right?
Yeah, he does.
I
He
mean,
has 1 year left.
let Byron Brown be independent of goalish. I want to see what that experiment looks like.
Okay.
The DJ Durkin thing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the reason why they took so long to fire Hugh Freeze is because they didn't want DJ Durkin to be the guy.
The head coach. I think that's fair.
And because of that,
yeah, he got 1 year left.
1 year, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, let Byron Brown go do whatever he needs to go do. Let him go play in the SEC if he wants to. Mm-hmm. Let him go. Just let him be independent. INDEPE. Let the man be independent. Whatever he needs.
I can dig it, bro.
Byron Brown the label, because at this point he carrying everybody.
Yeah,
look at that man's highlights. I think goalish, Auburn, that part, slam dunk by Sean Kemp, Shaq breaking backboards, because Auburn was patient, but not so much. But I feel like they were so strategic at the same time. But now the ball is really in y'all court, and it's on y'all. Y'all gotta hold goalish down, bro. And
100%.
give him not. I understand y'all got the resources, and you said open up the checkbook, and everybody don't got Michigan State money. That is a fact. However, that country money long too.
Oh, it's very low. You're in the Southeast Conference, so the resources are there. The brand is there. You know, we always approach this thing like we playing, NCAA 14. So we know that they have the identity. They have the branding. I'm saying, hey, be willing to spend a little bit more money, be a little bit more active, because Zach Kitley told us this. And this is why I love getting to media days and talking to coaches. He understands that. He said year one, these aren't your players. You evaluate the talent that you have on your roster. That's why he was so thankful for Caden Velkamp. But he was able to hit the recruiting trail immediately. It's time to get work done immediately. And I believe Alex Golish, if I had to pick one, I think Alex Golish and Auburn have more success in year one than John Summerall in Florida does.
Hey, man, why are you going to do this? We didn't even get out this season yet.
Hey, you feel me?
Hey, bro. Let's talk. Slim. Look, I feel like this Alex Golish situation, it can work out so beneficial, but if the right pieces, the right pieces are in place for him to do it, and I think he can have a defense that's already put together. Hopefully, they can retain some pieces.
Yeah, they'll retain players.
Retain players. Recruit your own guys. He walked into the opening press conference and was like, not the press conference, into the players meeting.
I saw that.
So cold, fresh off the jet with it. Gave that man a speech. I said goosebumps, and then they all respect that. Like, I respect that as a head coach. He gonna walk into the fire, but he also has that swagger, a little bit of sassiness, because you're gonna need it. You're going to need a little shoulder shrug, little Uzi shoulder shrug. You're going to need something playing in the SEC that's going to make you differentiate from the other guys. Now, it's when your idols become your rivals. Because 100%. Now, on the other side, not that far away, you got to deal with Hypo now. And now we're going to always have those comparisons.
For sure.
Those things are now in the air. So that's good. I think that, if you can recruit your own talent, solve the quarterback position, which has been Jalen, Nick Marshall, greatest. Never mind. Marshall, we talk about just Marshall, though.
I think Byron Brown would be the best player that they had at quarterback in years if he does decide.
Cam, right?
I think I would give Nick Marshall his respect. I think he's a better passer than Nick Marshall, but I will give Nick Marshall his respect.
Those two would be the main in
Yeah,
consideration.
and Bo Nix his first year
And
there.
bold.
Yeah, Bo Nix was incredible, but yeah, it's a system that he already knows, and he can kind of do what Caden Camp was able to do for Zach Kitley while he's out here on a recruiting trail. Before we move on, I want to look at Auburn 2026 opponents. Let's talk about who they play. I know we're sickos. We shouldn't be talking about this, but we are. All right, in 2026 they play Vandy, Athens. Of course, they play Arkansas. Ole Miss, Mississippi, Tennessee. I forgot how many uh conference games now. So yeah, he goes to see he going to see the big homie this year. You gotta go to Knoxville too. So these will be like this is like mirror offenses playing each other, which would be really interesting. We don't really get a lot of matchups like that, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
I'm
So
interested to see how these American coaches adjust in year one, being in the SEC.
You remember at Clipset when you had to call me? I was stuck. Like they can't be like how I was, bro. like they gonna have to figure it out sooner rather than later. All right, let's talk about a hire that we're huge
Wait, give
fans
me
of the
one
guy.
second, KT. Give me
All
one
right, yeah,
second.
do you think? Wow. Hmm. That's interesting. So the next coach we're going to talk about is a guy that I'm a huge fan of. We had the opportunity to interview him at American Media Days this past summer, and Ryan Silverfield. Super happy for him to get a progressive job in being able to go to Arkansas. But I do have a leniency. I'm a little bit reserved in how I feel and my excitation about the move. Fayetteville did not provide Sam Pittman with remotely enough resources. I'm not talking about, let's think of somewhere in SEC country. I'm not even talking about Auburn. Auburn don't have a resource problem. Is it as plentiful as it is in Tuscaloosa or Baton Rouge? No, but they don't have a resource problem. They don't have a brand identity problem. I feel like the team in Fayetteville 1000% has a brand identity problem. And when your AD openly admits that, hey, we didn't give the previous coach enough resources, to me, that means that you didn't do your job. Not saying Pittman didn't do your job as a program, as a brand identity. Why do people want to come to Fayetteville and play football? It's kind of where I'm at with this team. Love Ryan Silverfield Moon. You could tell anybody about Ryan Silverfield because you had the opportunity to sit there. You guys talked for what I feel like was about 20 minutes, which is uncommon when you're at these events because a lot of times they're on, they're on such a time clock with them and then their SID. But you guys talk more than just on the gridiron. He talked about his love for music and the different concerts, and he might be at this concert, then he might end up at a Biggie concert. So talk to me first about Ryan Silverfield, the person. And I'm happy for Ryan Silverfield. I just hate where he's going because while they're vowing to give more resources to the next coach, I'm a type of person that you got to show it to me. Show me you're gonna get this man the resources. Open up the checkbook. And you don't even got to open up the checkbook the way that they opened it in Lubbock this past year, but open up the damn checkbook. That's what I want to see. So talk to me about Ryan Silverfield.
Honestly, with Ryan Silverfield, I've been loving the move. Like beyond, like we know already that the AD should be fired.
Mm-hmm.
However, he can only make the most of the situation that he got himself into, and by signing that dotted line and getting on the dotted line.
Mm-hmm.
My bad, KT. I'm having tech issues.
Nah, you good, brother.
But yeah, I feel like since he's been at Arkansas, the number one thing that I've been seeing with Coach Silverfield is the buy-in from the fans. This has been the most scrutinized hire of this whole entire cycle.
It
People
has
have
been.
been bombing on this hire since it's been reported.
Hmm.
Like from the moment Pete Thamel put it out, seconds later, people have been bombing it, talking about how
Well,
bad it is, just
you know what
overall.
happened, right? This move was predicted by a parody account like 2.5 weeks prior.
To this happening.
Yeah, yeah. And then sometimes parody accounts are correct. Like a broken clock is, you know what I'm saying? It's going to work twice a day, right?
So, they got me. They caught me slipping
Hmm.
because, I wasn't anticipating. Well, I saw the parody account, but,
Hmm.
even in those situations, you're like, man, that's not real. I just talked
Right.
to Coach Silverfield. He just
Hmm.
told me that he meant this forever. There ain't
Right.
no way he leaving. Then we see the reports, and I'm like, dog, he leaving.
Money is green, brother. Money is green.
Money is green and opportunities are blue. And
Mm.
look, blue binges. That's what it's on the opportunities, and that's what he took advantage of. Right
Hmm.
now, I'm just looking at what Silverfield like. Can we have hope for another? In my opinion, people have been bombing on him, and I just want hope for another like just dog mentality coach that comes into the SEC. Like he did Hawks Plus. They do an amazing job covering Arkansas Razorbacks. So shout out to Hawks Plus. They have covered this event with Silverfield really down to the T. He
Hmm.
went into the basketball game and he was over there high fiving and almost looked like he could headbutt the fans in the student section out there just because they were showing him so much love. And that's when I said, that's what he needs to tap into. The
Hmm.
post, he has to win over the fan base. He wins over the fan base. I feel like it's not going to solve all their problems, but it can make life less miserable if you're a Razorbacks fan. No matter how many people want to bomb this hire, I feel like he will be a better coach than Sam Pittman was for Arkansas.
I I I think he can be, but without resources, we
Year
know what
one
that.
is brutal. Make no mistake.
Yeah, without resources is where my hesitancy is, because I do believe in Ryan Silverfield as a coach, and I have seen a lot of people questioning his ability to coach because a lot of Arkansas fans felt like, hey, this wasn't the home run hit that we wanted. You know, why didn't we go get Will Stein? Why didn't we go get this person? Why didn't we go get that person? Fact of the matter is, you got somebody that wants to be there, and if he hasn't shown you that day one, now it's on the university to get behind him and to be able to put up the money and to be able to get the resources that is required to compete in the SEC. Because think about it, Sam Pittman was some of those teams able to get more out of less,
Yeah.
and that's why I was always a huge proponent of backing him. So huge Ryan Silverfield fans here. Uh, I like the hire. I don't like the program. And that's where I stand with it. So because it's Ryan Silverfield, I give it a B plus. But Arkansas, like until you guys show me that you're willing to go out there and will and deal and go out to support this program and make Fayetteville a place that people want to go be, it's on you. It's not on him. And if this thing don't work out, it's 100% on you. It's not on him. You guys already came out and said that. So, like I said, I like the hire. All right, I think here's where you and I gonna butt heads a little bit. Kentucky gets Will Stein. I'll shut up. Go ahead. Talk to me about this hire and why you like it.
It has the potential for beautiful things if y'all let y'all feelings and emotions from Mark Stoops just get out the way and just let it take shape. You talk about a coach that's coming from the Dan Lanning family tree now. Like there's some Oregon Ducks fans that's out there that might penalize and scrutinize Will for his play calling, his lack of creativity in certain occasions, his lack of explosiveness on the perimeter on the outside over the last 2 years. I get it. I hear you. I can't say nothing bad about it.
And they were hurt. In all fairness, they were dinged up at wideout this year too.
They had that is something that they had to adjust to. He did
Mm-hmm.
get Kenyon Sadiq involved. Thank goodness. Thank the heavens. Oregon just keeps getting richer and richer at the tight end position. I'll just say that.
Sure.
Yeah, but for what it's worth,
I think we might have lost your audio. You're still here. I think we just might have lost your audio. So while we wait for Moon to get back, I'll go ahead and give my spiel on this. They did get one of the brightest minds in the country from an offensive perspective. And I think that the brass down there, probably in their estimation, believe that this was a home run hire. Brent Key, head coach of Georgia Tech, has an outstanding quote. He says, "Slice me open." Pause. Yeah, I'm gonna say pause. He might not say pause, but I'm gonna say pause. "Slice me open and see what I bleed." Right. Outstanding quote by old boy coach Brent Key. And uh, if there was ever a coach that I think, and Brent Key does have the right to say that he played for Georgia Tech. His name was in a billion, billion Coach Carousel thoughts and where people think that he may end up, and he did stay true to who he is and stayed at Georgia Tech. Mark Stoops, man, I don't get it, especially when you look at Vince Marrow, who was huge proponent of Kentucky football, and his ability to recruit there is now, cross state lines, and he's at Louisville now. To me, this better work. This better work because you fired a damn good guy, a guy that helped make Kentucky football relevant at a blue blood basketball program. So now it's okay, I think we can look and I think we can say to ourselves, well, the resources weren't plentiful. They were nowhere near plentiful. But I think Vince Marrow was such an elite recruiter and helped people get there that he was able kind of to balance things a little bit. And at times when you see flashes, like when Will Levis was there, a lot of times the difficulty was how many offensive coordinators that they had during that time period. So I want this to work. I really do hope that this work, and I hope that the resources are given to him. But Kenny Dillingham has this great quote: "Somebody gotta go 3-9. Somebody gotta go 6-6, and somebody gotta have a damn good season." And we look at all of these moves that's been made in the SEC. We look at Lane Kiffin to LSU. I expect things to get better in LSU, and I expect the resources to be even more plentiful, to be even more evergreen than they ever were with BK. And then we look at Arkansas getting Ryan Silverfield. And when you start to look at seller programs in the SEC, you think about Arkansas, you think about Kentucky, you think about Mississippi State, who I believe is a team that's trending in the right direction with Jeff Lebby there. So that continuity is there, and they're continuing to try to build. You look at a team like Florida with an immense amount of resources. The resources are evergreen, they're plentiful, but they want success. That fan base is starting to get extremely impatient. So every move that we talked about so far has come out of the Southeastern Conference because that's where we're at. We can't even say that a team like Vandy is in the cellar anymore because what they've been able to put together back-to-back seasons. So it's going to be real interesting to kind of see this. But in my opinion, this is another one of those things where I look at a team like Kentucky, blue blood program, right? Mark Stoops helped bring respect to the program. I was talking to my guy, I always forget his name. This is early on when we had the flagship show, CFB Nation, when it was just me, and then started to bring people on like Nino and stuff like that. And he was telling me just about like how difficult it was watching Kentucky football growing up. Mark Stoops gave them an identity. Like, hey, we're gonna be competitive. We're gonna lose respectfully. And for someone who's catchphrase is no moral victories, the respect for I have for Mark Stoops in moral victories is out of this world. So what can Will Stein do? Right? What he'll be able to do? Because they're in the cellar. Yes, you got a great mind, but what can he do to kind of raise the bar from where Stoops had it at? That's where I'm at with this hire. I know you were saying a lot of interesting things about this hire, so go ahead and then we'll move on.
Okay, cool. So Will Stein, he's coming into a place in bluegrass land that's a basketball school.
100% blue blood basketball program.
And he wants to put his identity on this. I don't feel like he would have took this job if he didn't feel like he was ready or have got the blessing from Dan Lanning to do so. I feel like he's one of those type of coaches just kind of like Kirby is to him. He gonna mentor that next generation underneath him.
Shout out to Dan Lanning. When your entire staff gets head coaching jobs, you know what I'm saying? You're doing something right. So shout out to Dan Lanning. So I want to bring something to your attention. I was talking to them about before you got back in here. Kentucky got Will Stein. Arkansas got Ryan Silverfield. We look at Arkansas and Kentucky as kind of like the bottom dwellers of the SEC who kind of fighting for. Arkansas did give us 20. What was that? Was that 2021? 2022 when they had the pop up year with KJ Jefferson. I forgot what year that was.
Fun. That was a fun.
That was a fun year, right? And then we look at Auburn. They've been kind of the bottom dwellers, but see, Auburn don't have the excuses that Arkansas and Kentucky have. They don't, right? What we looking at? What Florida, where the resources are there. Somebody got to be bad. Jeff Lebby and Starkville is trending in the right direction. I'm excited to see what he brings to the table in year 3. My question to you is, Kenny Dillingham said it best. Somebody gotta go 3-9, right? somebody gotta go 6-6. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have elite teams. Like right now, if you had to pick between, and I'm just talking about teams who are in the cellar at the moment, Will Stein, Ryan Silverfield, Alex Golish, whether we like it or not, that they Auburn wasn't bowl eligible this year. They 5-7, the bottom dweller. So who do you think? And Jeff Lebby, I'm gonna add them to the equation as well. Who do you think can kind of have that crab in a barrel mentality and make it up to that next level, the next rung, the next tier?
Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even just because of Ryan Silverfield guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they have more. If you look at their schedule, Arkansas' schedule is absolutely toasted next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like Quiznos, Subways, Jimmy John's.
Everybody's is with that added game, and then you got to play the 10th Power Conference game on Notre Dame. So,
man, they are there. So that has the most potential for upset madness.
Yeah, they showing old dogs who do trick level weed. Shout out to my brother, man. Shout out to the guy, man. Yeah. What did I miss? Mr. What did I miss himself, man? What's happening, brother?
What did I miss?
Hey.
That's how Ryan Silverfield feel right now. Mm-hmm. Popping on the scene with the gangster lean. And he got a gangster playlist too.
Hey.
He know all types of music, but that showcases to me like he has the ability to adapt. And I think Auburn has higher expectations now. Like you said, they already did it. And then the other part is, if you just look at the SEC now, I think the competitiveness is like taking a step up because the bottom dweller teams have actually said, you know what, man, get Mark Stoops out of here, get Hugh Freeze out of here. All these old dogs that don't want to learn new tricks, get them out of here. If you can't adapt to the word.
You not be ready to fight for Mark Stoops, man.
I love Coach Stoops. I love him. I wish he could have stayed as like a defensive coordinator or something. Like I believe if you put in a lot of work at your previous university and they do you wrong and or you get fired, have to resign or whatever, and the fan base still rocks with you, leave that man on the staff in a reduced role if he's able to do it. We've seen it happen a couple of times this offseason already.
Oh, Brian Browning in the building. What's happening?
Gang. Y'all got a Mountain West championship to try to win tonight.
We're just doing some coaches carousel talking. We're going to actually have to make a part 2 out of this because I don't want to rush through this. Moon, are you available after the American game tonight? Yeah. All right. So we're gonna come to a stop. Our next coach that we're gonna talk about is James Franklin. So I'm loving that we're leaving off of this teaser. So at 11 p.m. we'll be back. We'll recap some of these games that we get tonight from a lot of the G5 level games, and then we'll come back and finish up this list. So 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's that? 10 p.m. Central, p.m. Pacific. Come back. We're going to talk more about this culture carousel and the games that come on tonight. I got to run. Y'all take care, Moon. I'll see you back at 11, brother.
Yes, sir.